Welcome back, everybody, to another day of LCK Summer 2020. It is me, Valdez, with LS, a.k.a. Lesnek, back here for yet another day of games. We have had some fun stuff. Yesterday was particularly fun with T1 up against Dom1.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
That series got a little bit close right at the end, but Dom1 did manage to edge it out. Spoilers intended there. But today's series, we have Afreeca versus Hanwha Life, and if you've been watching Hanwha Life's games, their top side is lost, and bot side is trying to 2v8. Has been pretty much the memo so far throughout the entire split, and I think that Afreeca are just the clear favorites coming into tonight's match, and we have to wonder, is there anything that's really gone on since Hanwha Life's last match?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a reasonable question. They've had a good, 5 days or so to kind of sit back, try to figure out what's going wrong. I'm very curious to see, who's going to be starting as well, because you were talking about the top side of the map being lost. Definitely some of those veterans up there have seemed lost, because the rookies have been playing a lot more to mixed results. So it's been hard. Afreeca looking pretty good. Definitely the favorites coming into this one.
Yeah.
And, we'll just have to see. I mean, we have the information on who is going to be starting, but I don't want to spoil it just yet for Hanwha Life. For you fans out there who are still waiting for something from Hanwha Life to stick here, as we're going to get into the points of the match. One team's losing streak ends today. Hanwha with 4 straight versus Afreeca, who started off with 2 wins followed by 2 losses. Who is going to successfully turn the tide?
Yeah, and Hanwha Life without a single win, they need to display their unique style to get the victory. I think that even if they attempt wonky kind of drafts, the players that they have, it wouldn't be enough to probably execute upon it. And so that's where it does get a little bit worrisome, because they're just outmatched pretty much everywhere except down in bot lane. And so if we're talking about a wonky kind of draft that they could maybe approach, they could just maybe try hypering Viper.
Yeah.
But given that they're starting on blue side, it's a lot more difficult to get access to a hyper, because traditionally they're going to have to be picked on B4, B5, and that makes things very difficult to do. Last of the 2 teams with a high dependency on their bot lanes, Viper, who guts out everything he has every series versus Afreeca's winning formula, Mystic. The thing, though, is that Keen he's still here. And he's up against Cube, who...
Spoilers.
Yeah, that's a bit of a...
Way to blow it, LS.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. But
okay.
Very, very one-sided matchup.
Yes.
Up in top lane. And so, while Mystic is very important to Afreeca, I think that many people could probably look forward to counting on Keen here today, as well as team stats here.
What is M lead? It's gold lead. I suppose they have a gold lead 0.3% of the time. I don't know how that would actually be possible. Maybe we can get some clarification on that stat, but 0.3% is incredibly low regardless, so they're going to have to change something up there as we're taking a look at the rosters. Cat is starting, and so is Cuvée. So they're going to be mixing it up in the top side. They're not going to keep Rookie Duo together with a Rookie Duo or anything like that. I believe they did play Dudu and Haru one time last week, but now they're going to try the opposite combination here with Lava continuing in the mid lane.
Yeah. We'll see what can end up happening for them. They're going to be on blue side, which is going to be a bit worrisome for their solo laners, especially since Fly is one of the more unorthodox players here in the LCK, willing to get very surprising with not only his picks, but the way that he can utilize his counter picks and the diversity that he's able to offer for Afreeca. So we'll see how Afreeca manages to utilize red side here today. And again, is there any way that Hanwha Life can figure out some way to enable Viper? That is the big question. It's going to be the key player matchup here. KDA, 4.625. And Mystic, 4.619.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had to go to the 3rd decimal there just because they were so incredibly close. I suppose those would both, be extremely similar, so they had to go even farther. You can see that damage per minute, though. Mystic is first in the league of all 80 carries. That's not something you might expect, especially with so many fantastic 80 carries in the LCK. But even Viper's got some really good stats for being on, you know, the 9th place team currently. He's very high on damage percentage, which, I mean, says more about the team maybe than Viper himself. But still, definitely trying his hardest to carry, that is for sure.
Well, we'll see what he's able to do here today and what kind of champions he's going to try to get a hold of. I think that if Hanwha Life just try to come into this matchup and approach it normally, they're going to get completely blown out of the water. And if they try to approach it in an unorthodox way that doesn't center around the bot lane, then they're going to get completely blown out of the water.
Yeah.
If they try to draft
What
a
else?
Hyper type of team composition where they put Viper on a Hyper 80 carry and they try to go the distance and let him carry, they're going to get blown out of the water on the top side.
Okay.
So,
All right. It's not a lot of hope you're giving to Hanwha Life. But to follow up on that point of Hyper carries, I mean, Viper, he's won 2 games with his team. He's played every game. And one of them was on Twitch, and one of them was on Aphelios. So, you know, he's played 3 games of Kai'Sa. He's lost all of those. That's kind of become a Hanwha Life Viper meme, where, you know, if they pick Kai'Sa again today, I really don't know what's going on. No one else is playing it. Nobody's having success with it. We're not very big fans of it. He's also played a couple of games of Ezreal and fallen short on those. So he's trying a lot of different things here in the 80 carry role.
man on the screen is Fly. Will he have anything exciting for us here today?
Can he see through those through the glasses? I mean, he is
It's always
growing out his hair.
Yeah. Growing out, you know, honestly, I think a lot of people are growing out their hair lately.
True.
With everything that's going on.
Very true.
Mystic is also back to the blue hair, the Super Saiyan God hair. Is what's going on for him.
Big fan.
You don't even know what that is?
No, I've heard of a Super Saiyan.
Once upon a time.
I've heard the words before.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got pick ban here. Zoe Nautilus.
Well, Varus and Yuumi have already been banned away by Afreeca. And Poppy.
Playing against Spirit, I guess. That's a lot of respect.
Yeah, you're going to take her off the table. And maybe this... I'm not sure... Because it's very easy to draft in a way where Poppy is not that useful. You can draft around her is the whole thing. So I wonder if this is indicating that champions... Well, yeah, okay, Kalista does get banned. If champions like Kalista were going to be on the agenda. Now, if they B1 Aphelios, I think things are a little bit ugly, but okay, they're going to B1 Karma. And I think this is one of the best B1s that currently exists because she's so powerful with her 3 different types of build paths that she can go. The fact that she can end up mid-top 80 carry or support is super flexible, regardless of if Korea utilizes her in all of those positions or not. Afreeca responding now with R1 Ezreal and R2 Trundle.
True. Lee Sin coming out here in Aphelios will be picked, but again, it's going up against a couple of picks that are usually picked into Aphelios. Ezreal having range and Trundle able to annoy Aphelios' usually small range with his pillar.
Yep. And we'll see if Afreeca acknowledges the Aphelios and tries to neuter him here in the laning phase. That's basically all they have to do is continue to layer all of their picks against him. Orianna, really good. They can pick this, ban away Syndra, and then ban away Azir, and it's going to be very awkward for Hanwha Life to try to pivot out of it with the assumed champion pool that is present in LCK and even in other regions as well.
Ooh, the
other
Prophet today.
That would be able to come in and really answer to some of these things is going to be pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, there's definitely you know, there's a lot of targeted bans you could do here from Afreeca. Azir is having so much success right now, especially in recent times. I think on patch 10-12, he's like 10-1 or 9-1 or something ridiculous. A lot of great Azir players, definitely factors into that as well. Braum is going to be taken away. They don't want to have to deal with him.
An Azir ban here is pretty good, just so they can't pivot out of. All right, well,
you got it, 2 in a row, and you would have also recommended a pick like Orianna in that spot. You mentioned it many times against Aphelios.
I think in a perfect world where the champion pools are much deeper, I think Orianna can't come in on R3. I think you need to actually wait a little bit longer, but I think that in the current level of pro play and what we're assuming, then R3 Orianna with these 2 bans is really good. It's very hard for the opponent to do anything.
Yeah, I was just mostly saying like a champion like Orianna into Aphelios, and Bard just kind of follows along with that theme.
The awkward thing is that at this point you have to probably send Karma into mid now, most likely. But this is a little bit why I don't like the Bard on R4, is because they can wait for absolute information and then maybe get a very powerful counterpick down in bottom for support. Whereas there's more than enough tops that are very blindable right now. I mean, they could have gangplanked on R4 and that would have been fine. It only really would have some difficulty here. Well, okay, Set is being hovered. Now the Set is also a flex pick. It's most like no, Lulu. So they are going to try to hyper Aphelios. And the issue with this is that all of these champions on Hanwha Life are super short range. Emphasis on very, very hard engage. And so now all Afreeca needs to do is choose champions that are very good against the particular
What do you think? What do you think? Top laner here. The Jace got banned. I feel like that was a pretty good ban. Jace also pretty good nowadays, but they're going to go for Wukong, which is another one of these hard engagey type of champions that does get multiple knockups, and they add a ton of CC into their lineup, but he does have to be in melee range of everything that Hanwha Life have.
So it gets a little bit scary. It has synergy with Orianna, which is why they're picking it, but in a vacuum, it's also handshaking and accepting what Hanwha Life likes, which is definitely worrisome. And so things are a little bit frustrating in that regard if you are an Afreeca fan. Some of the other AD champion picks that you would like are also sort of mitigated by Hanwha Life's champions right now, so it does make it a bit awkward to try to pick.
What about like an Urgot in that spot? Is that like a...
Urgot wouldn't be super bad. I think Urgot would actually be...
He doesn't have a lot of synergy with the Orianna, I suppose, unless you're like diving into that backline, but still has shown a lot of success here for Keen. He's 2-0 on the pick. Maybe in later pick bans, but not the case for now as we take a look at the Hyper Carry Viper composition here, featuring Lee Sin and Kenneth.
Well, we shall see. Wukong, Trundle, Orianna, Ezreal, and Bard on the side of Afreeca. And a pretty generic team composition by them. Obviously, Ezreal, Bard, Orianna, really big problems for Aphelios. The Wukong is interesting because he does have to go in, and it does have some anti-synergy. Or not anti-synergy, but it's off-theme.
Yeah.
With what they should have been trying to achieve. They actually could have picked Gangplank here. That would have certainly been fine, as he can get through the laning phase, and then his ultimate super valuable against Hanwha Life in the later stages. And even though some people might look at that and be like, well, there's no synergy for your Orianna ultimate at that point, who cares? Because the opponents have to run into you because they don't have any other gears, they don't have any other modes available to them.
Yeah, it's definitely very true. Keen, actually, this is going to be his first game on the Wukong here in Summer, so we'll get to see exactly what he can do. Wukong can be really annoying, and people have been saying that he is quite strong, especially in team fights where he does get, you know, the first knock-up and then he gets the double knock-up. It's very obnoxious.
Yes.
And hard to deal with if you don't know how to position correctly against it. And so we'll see if Keen, you know, knowing Keen, he is not only a fantastic mechanical player, but he's very smart about how he engages. So I would expect to see some really fun Keen highlight moments in this game.
Yeah, we'll see what does end up happening. Lava with pretty standard Karma Wave clear going on here. Both mid laners taking the Doran's Ring as well. As we take a look at some of the stats, Viper versus Mystic, kill percent. Viper first in the league. Gold percent. Viper also first in the league. CS percent at 15 to 30? First in the league.
There. So that is a very interesting stat. I suppose that the percentage of the CS on the map that they take between 15 and 30 minutes.
Yep.
That's the way I would interpret it. We're getting complex here at Riot, really digging deep for those interesting stats.
Miss.
Ooh.
And Viper transforming into Caitlyn real quick before going back into Draven.
Yeah.
Seems like. We've named all of Aphelios' colors, by the way.
Yeah.
He is Chameleon. And, okay, well.
Level 3, and he's going to put down the pillar. That's going to get the heal immediately, and you can see that it didn't exactly look like Mystic and Ben were far up enough, I suppose, wanting to try to bait him into it, but Viper, with the movement speed on the heal, was easily able to run around the pillar.
That was just a level 3 gank. It only ended up getting the heal, so not really that bad. Canadian Dollar now gonna move over to the Scuttle Crab. Pick up that for himself. Lava does have the prio in mid lane over the Orianna. And now Trundle, everyone's gonna be able to play with map hacks against him. You knew exactly how much CS he had, and so Spirit's in a bit of an awkward spot now in the jungle.
Yeah, the Trundle was so highly valued. He's coming back, actually. Seemingly having run past, and Viper and Lahens are biting the bait here over the wall. They're going to flash on in. They get the stun on Talulu with the TP coming in. And a very late TP from the side of Afreeca. Spirit is going to have to flash away for kind of an awkward engage there.
Yeah, I have no idea why Fly was coming in with the teleport. That seems like a very big blunder by him. He could have easily shoved in the mid wave and expended all of his mana there, but Afreeca, I mean, they're sinning for pretty much no reason, which is very surprising. Just perma-ganking over and over, not getting any value. And Spirit, he picks up the red smite, but Lahens and Viper, they're in a really good spot right now. Keen up in top lane. We'll see how much CS he manages to get off of this wave. Cuvee doing pretty fine.
Yeah. I suppose the thought process is like, well, they're trying to hyper Viper. If we can just stop that, we win, but they are forcing it really hard, and it doesn't look good when you do it that way. So, pretty unfortunate that their gambit has not paid off. Top lane here, Cuvee is going to have the priority early on because he is the ranged up against a melee champion as Kennen. But Wukong, Keen's keeping up pretty well. It looks like he was only about 3 CS behind so far.
And with how everything's going right now, things are not looking that bad for Hanwha Life. They're going to see Spirit yet again. And Cad is going to actually pick up the Infernal Dragon very early on here for his team, so nice little victory. Ward getting a lot of value. Should be pretty much impossible for Cuvee to die up here in top lane. He's in a very good spot. And I actually looked at Aphelios' attack damage a little bit too slow.
Oh.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
I like how he was waiting for the shield to go down to try to go for that arcane shift and Q play. Mystic didn't really amount to much, but still a cute little play there. And yeah, I mean, you talked about map hacks. Spirit is very far behind. They were able to get a deep ward in with the Karma. They knew exactly that he was going up to the top side. And Trundle is not going to be able to do much in this game from very far behind already. We'll have to see how Spirit can try to catch up. But already down a level here against Lee Sin.
And right now, Wukong is actually in a pretty okay spot. He's actually ahead in CS if he gets these last two. Yeah. So, I mean, it's you know, it's something.
Yeah.
It looks like Kennen is gonna go for Gunblade as his first item. He's starting off by going AD Kennen just to get more value out of auto attacks against the Wukong and have more pressure and sustain in the laning phase. And aside from that, though, everything is pretty bland. None of the laners really manipulating their lanes for the jungler, and so there's not going to be a whole lot of action. We have a Trundle that's at 8 camps at almost 8 minutes, so definitely a little bit of sin, as, okay, the UFO candy's going to get stepped on.
Yeah,
very
unfortunate.
Honestly, yeah.
I just like the little aliens that follow the Astrobard. That makes me happy. UFO candy's not as good as the Coco, but I think the little aliens make up for it. I'm not sure how you feel about that skin.
I really do like the skin, but the Coco still takes the cake, and it eats it too.
Yeah, with Coco.
And it gains no weight.
Wow,
it's honestly a magical.
Same weight the whole time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Definitely some mystical things Bard has learned. Honestly, Bard should just open up a bakery. He like sells like hot cocos that they're like 0 calories. They have only good stuff inside of it for you somehow.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be the way it is in the future? You know about like the what's it called? There's like companies that do like the fake meat products, you know what I mean? That are meant to be like taste the same, but they're like healthier in some ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget the name of it, but I wonder if in the future we could just like
modify
modify
things that taste like cake, but
yeah, exactly. Like we're trying now, you know, with all the like the fake sugar and the you know, the Coke Zero and stuff like that, but it's not exactly the same. But I think in the future we should have the ability. That'll be a fun time to live in.
Well, listen, Back to the Future said that we should have had flying cars by now, and they should have been mainstream, so I've been lied to.
Yeah, well, it's too loud, you know. It's too much noise in the air.
Well,
those flying carts.
Not a whole lot happening here, though. 1.5 minutes until Ocean Dragon's gonna come up. And they're just playing ping pong with the waves. Everyone is just playing super safe, super reserved. Not a whole lot of action. I'm actually curious what the average first blood timer is in all of LCK.
Average first blood?
Yeah. That's something I would... Is it 15 minutes? Is it like
15 minutes? No, I think it actually might be.
Oh, man.
It's probably like 13 and a half minutes.
13.14678.
Yeah, like, something like that, yeah. I think that should be an easily attainable stat, to be honest. Mystic says, well, I'd like to get one of more of these minions. So he sticks around the gank. It pushes them off of a small wave. It also gets them another plate, but no kills. So Afreeca just sitting back, playing it carefully.
30 seconds till that Drake does end up coming up. And Hanwha Life, if they do end up getting it and they roll a mountain, that's going to be very, very good for them. And Mystic, we'll see if he can have the Muramana online by 3rd Dragon. Although the first Drake was taken so early, it is definitely possible that he won't have it. As you can see, Cad is looking to try to get the Drake.
Oh, we got a one-on-one up here in the top side. We do get that knock-up. Cuvée is going to flash away, and Keen will respond, but now with the Lightning Rush, is going to try to get in range, but the Q does miss, as that was not the cleanest trade we'd ever seen, but This is a trade that Hanwha Life will be happy with to get the Ocean Drake for free. That's always a nice trade, but now it is Cloud Soul.
Well, can't leak everything, you know? And Hanwha Life, honestly, I mean, this game, they've been playing so reserved, but also just stable. It's very different from what probably anyone would have expected coming into tonight's match. I mean, Keen is actually losing in top lane right now. He does almost have the Trinity Force completed for himself. Hextech Gunblade almost available there on the Kennen. As it looks like Lava is down an EXP to Fly. Not totally sure how exactly that's happened. Not quite certain.
We went for a couple of roams down on the bottom side, and I guess Fly has mostly been mid, as we're just going to plop down Rift Herald here, and Lulu is up here with the Aphelios. They're going to get the turret, but not the Cuvée, and the stun will go wide. Will they still have the kill with the exhaust? It looks like absolutely yes. That's going to be first blood. Hand it over to the Ezreal down in the bottom side.
At 12 minutes, as Viper with Kog'Maw enabled on the Aphelios, going to manage to shred through the turret with the help of the Herald, pick up the first blood turret for himself, and setting Cuvée further behind is going to be pretty important, because that third dragon fight is going to be very crucial. And, I mean, honestly, Hanwha Life, though, they do have the ability to opt out of it. What the teleport.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he did that from base. It's not like he could have probably just ran over. Even Bard could have put down a magical journey on the top side, and he might have even gotten there faster than the TV itself. It seemed like a maneuver to try to, you know, threaten them away, if anything, but it's generally not the best idea.
Oh!
Cuvée, he forces the flash. Cuvée was already kind of moving away from it, but good respect shown here by Mystic after getting a little bit close to the Raichu.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, Afreeca, they're not going to have the flash on Ezreal at this third dragon, and it's coming online so early. We take a look at this, how it all transpires. Cuvée honestly should have just gotten hit by the Bard ultimate. That would have been much better for him, but he ends up trying to avoid it when that would end up being worse. He ends up going down. Now, the one thing is that Lava, he went for the Ludens, so we'll see how this ends up panning out. This surprises me a little bit because his entire role in this game isn't necessarily to deal damage, so if you just want to maximize shielding power, you could just go for Seraph's Embrace for the raw 8 ability power.
Yeah.
And then once you get Death Cap, you get Athene's, you get Ardent, etc., your shields are massive. And you're able to do so much in that regard. But you will have a little bit more offense here. Viper,
oh, man. They're both quite fast, actually, down on the bottom side, so pretty rough. You have to angle that back potentially to zone as a forced flash against Lava. We are avoiding a lot of action here in the LCK.
Literally can't kill for a reason.
Well done by these teams. Just, they're all surviving so well. Can't believe it.
As, well, Wukong up in top lane. It seems like actually Afreeca would be keen on giving up the third dragon potentially. I'm not totally sure. I mean, Keen might shove in one more wave recall, get Triforce, and then start running down. That would definitely be a possibility.
Yeah, if you really want to get that objective, that is one reason not to freeze in some scenarios, although you could freeze and then use your TP, but wants to avoid that, I suppose. He's going to go back. Let's see if he picks up that Trinity Force right off the back. There it is. So he is ready to go for this next fight. Try to look at some other spikes. The Gunblade is done by Kennen. Infinity Edge plus some extra crit here for
Lehens.
Lehen's in a really awkward spot. He almost nearly dies. They're just going to try to wombo up on the top side as Lava. Immediately it's going to go down. And Cat is just not able to do anything alone. Cuvée getting there a little bit too late, but They just got caught up on the top side, and Hanwha Life will have to give this objective away.
And this is going to be the first of potentially 4 Cloud Dragons that will go over to the side of Afreeca. I am really looking forward to seeing the 80% cooldown reduction Wukong.
Yeah,
with,
that sounds fun.
That would be interesting in a very extended team fight. Well, Lava did die. I mean, Hanwha Life, they do still have the gold advantage. They also have the Infernal, which is amplifying their stats. And you can see here the Ludens, it was picked up first, and now he's moving into Athenes, which is just so peculiar because when you're trying to be oppressive, you can just go for the Athenes first because the item is so powerful, given that it comes online faster than other items because of its cost. And then it curves so well into Ardent Sensor and just gives you so much power, so much quicker than the opposing mid laner. The Ludens is just so out of place, especially given that they were doing really well early on, and they managed to fade those ganks down in bottom lane. Even if Lava was initially thinking, yeah, I'm going to go Ludens first here, with the jungler being set so far behind and the bot lane being so okay, I think the itemization pivot definitely could have existed. We have the teleport come in here, and yeah, the floor is Lava. As, remember, he doesn't have the flash because he had to flash away in mid lane to the Orianna ultimate. Cad ends up having to commit a ward hopping over. They give away the Cloud Dragon. Now, fortunately for Hanwha Life, it's not a mountain. Because if this build... Okay,
trying to get it done here on the fly, and they will, absolutely. But the ultimate does go down, and that's going to be a sniperino there from Mystic. Able to pick up that kill onto Cad, who had used his flash to pick up the kill. As here comes Give, he's got his flash, speaking of which, he's looking for blood. But he's not really able to do anything.
Yeah. And I mean, Keen up here, meanwhile, in top lane, he's getting so much free farm, he's getting the turret. I think there's actually an argument to make where you don't take the turret here. That way the wave comes back in sooner, because now Aphelios could go top and he could freeze. Because you have another incoming wave.
Maybe it's like playing the meta.
He won't freeze, but he could, because there's 3 minutes until another objective comes up, and with Karma planted in mid lane, there's no way.
Oh. That was a nice stun. Give is actually in trouble. He's going to die. That Orianna auto was powered up and just sniped him there at the end. Bard making it look easy to set up that kill for Fly with the teleport movement speed. Getting in position, and that's just like another kill that Afreeca, it's like you find $1 on the ground, you're like, oh, I guess I'll pick this up. Might as well. Seemed like very low effort for them. And while there's no real objective to pick up, it's just another kill that's going to be handed over to one of the carries here on the side of Afreeca.
Well, Afreeca slowly managing to accrue advantages here in this game. QA finally dings level 11, as Keen is almost 13. And so the fact that this ended up transpiring after Kennen being ahead, very surprising. Replay from a couple of minutes ago, Cat ends up going in, he gets the insect, and I mean, very unfortunate right there. There's a world where Lehens actually runs forward and exhausts Ezreal, maybe? And then Lee Sin would live, but that doesn't end up happening. Very easy kill here, and you have to wonder, why is Kennen even here? You see bot wave where it is, even the Krug camp is up as well. 2,000 gold advantage right now for Afreeca. They're probably going to pick up the next Cloud Dragon. Spellbinder picked up on Orianna, as well as the GLP 800. Ezreal with the, still doesn't actually have Mirror Mana. That is very surprising. Very slow at stacking it this game.
It's weird.
But
he should be really close.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go with a 2042 completion.
2042.
2042.
He's going to get it on this wave then. I'm just staring at the map.
2042.
Yeah, well, 2032. You were close.
Honestly, I lost sight. 10 seconds
you couldn't
off.
see.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the
difference. A little bit of brain delay, yeah.
3 and 4.
Couldn't see it.
Yeah. Might just be a problem with the the numbers based on where we're from, but Hanwha Life, we talked about their composition. They love hard engage. They have Lee Sin and Kennen that are going to look to get in your face and then have Aphelios follow up. But they were spotted the whole way, and Keen doesn't really seem to... Oh, okay, he was about to run out of time there, so Jonas Strong, good catch. As Cuvée is following up on this one, but he is going to get knocked up. He's trying to bait for his
what
team.
Are you doing?
And I guess underestimating the damage that Keen had. And yeah, he's just going to be able to flash away. Viper coming on in. Good dodge on the Moonlight Vigil. And Keen, I think, should eventually die.
Yeah, he's finally dead.
They chased him all the way down the lane.
He got one, two. Yeah, he got two summoner spells. The ultimate auto. I mean, they're tilted out of their mind right now.
Yeah,
they're actually fuming.
Let's just do Baron. Let's just do Baron.
Yeah, this is the solo queue right here. Hanwha Life. They have teleport on Cuvée, but this is definitely going to be a little bit wonky.
Delaying here.
Yeah, almost here.
They're just going to try to burst it down.
Actually get it.
They might be able to, but what is the follow-up going to look like? That is a big ultimate immediately coming out of Fly. Yeah. And down will go the Aphelios, so it's Baron for 3 kills. And I suppose Karma and Lulu will still have it, at least.
Immediately
died again. Oh, no.
Hanwha Life FedEx here in this game. International delivery. Express, even.
Yeah. Overnight delivery by plane. Just flew right in there, fortunately. And, yeah, I mean, Afreeca, you could see that the Baron power play is now a penalty kill, as they're down about 1,500 gold. And it's only going to increase in number as both jungles go the way of Afreeca, the turrets go the way of Afreeca. They get 3 kills on top of it.
Now, let's take a look at this. Cuvée, he comes in, he handshakes the trade, and he could have just got out and gone for the cannon as well as the 3 spellcasters, but there's never, that was not close at all. There was never a universe where he gets a kill. Viper misses Moonlight Vigil, heals, finally gets onto Wukong, and I like what Keen does. He actually hits F to maybe feign a decoy, to maybe just buy a little bit more time. I think that's what that looks like on some lost sight. Bard ultimate comes out, and remember what Cloud Templar said in that drama skit. This is why you don't touch others' barons.
Yeah.
Okay, so got caught, hand in the cookie jar. Aphelios? I don't have teleport, I think.
So yeah, Aphelios, nice. Mystic, he's taking up dancing here. 4-0-1, thinks he's a hot shot.
The reason that this is so impactful right now is because Mystic utilizing those dance moves on Ezreal is really infuriating Cuvée, whose legs have definitely been broken this game with the level of play that has been going on. Yeah. So right now you can't really see it on the map, but the cannon is seething.
I can feel it, even if I can't see it. It's been a sad time for the little cannon in this game. And the way that the lanes are pushing, it feels like Afreeca has Baron. It's like, actually, you know, you still have Baron on 2 members for 30 seconds, but you're not using it at all. Nobody on the side of Hanwha Life wants to get anywhere near Afreeca. And yeah, I mean, Viper's got a massive shield, but I don't know if that's going to be enough by the end of this game. He's going up against some really unbelievably fed members on the side of Afreeca. Even the Wukong, who doesn't have, you know, a ton of kills, he's up, you know, almost 50 CS. He has his 2 main items.
Yeah.
He's gotten a kill and an assist, and he's also going to be doing some sick damage.
One of the things I want to point out here as well is in this game, the items are really kind of all over the place with pretty much everyone. You know that Magic Resist is coming in, and yet Oblivion Orb was picked up by Ken in second. That's very strange. And also, you have Black Cleaver on Lee Sin. Yes, Ezreal's going to get a lot of armor, but you can't really kick him anyway, unless he horribly misplays. So, this definitely could have been one of the lethality Lee Sin spots, given that all of his teammates, except for Aphelios, are dealing magic for the most part. And then even if Lee Sin is on one target, he's not hitting them that many times, and the likelihood that things are going to matter all that much, it would be just much better to get as much damage through, and then vision control even. Umbral Glaive, Edge of Night,
Yeah.
whatever.
If you were going to go for a Black Cleaver bot, maybe go for like a Kindred that can kind of scale and go like Runons and Black, you know, something like that, Black Cleaver, and then you can jump around the Trundle and some of the, you know, CC that Afreeca has, and maybe you've got like a kind of secondary AD carry as well. But they went for the Lee Sin. We haven't moved away from Lee Sin Town here in LCK. Viper he is kind of scary still. Keen seen there.
Keen was spotted. 6-0 Viper.
They found
Good
Viper.
night.
See you later. He's got a ton of shields here, and well, that didn't last very long. And Lahen should be dead here too. The flash on in. You can see Lava's getting chased down, and it is just a massacre. As Kive decides, okay, now's the time. He gets the 1 kill, but I think he will also bite the dust. Down he goes. There's the ace, and I think Afreeca
I think that's the game.
might just win here.
Yep, that is 20 seconds on Aphelios. 17 seconds on Lulu, but she doesn't really do anything even when she is up. Maybe she can exhaust someone.
They've got a wave.
Yeah, they have a wave. And Bard almost has ultimate again. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
This game's over. So that's going to be game number 1. And after a 12-minute, right, first blood,
Yeah.
very, very slow game. Hanwha Life just completely fell apart in the mid game. Although that was one of their more stable early games that they ended up having. But overall, in the end, not a whole lot happening. And I honestly do not know who to give the MVP to. Trying to think here.
Bard.
Bard gets
Give it
an
to
honorary
Bard.
mention.
Brad the Chad.
I think it's Fly. As weird as that sounds.
Nah. My vote's with Bard all the way, but you're the
Fly-
one with
Fly
the
made-
voting power.
Fly made one peculiar teleport down into bottom, but aside from that, he got Karma's Flash before the dragon fight. And then also had a lot of key ultimates, but Bard set up so many things and was a key. We're gonna give it to Bard just because Bard's
There
a
you
nice
go.
guy. Bard's a nice guy. So
No, actually, Brad is a Chad. So
Oh.
he doesn't really care what you think. Actually,
okay,
he does whatever he wants,
right.
and he did in that game. Absolutely, Ben coming in here, showing him how it's done.
Aw.
Good old Brad, and
Right.
you can see that Viper still energetic after the game. He's, you know, he's standing up. He's talking a lot.
Yeah.
He's trying to lead the team. It's not an easy spot where your team is down 0-4 and you just got clapped in game 1 for a potential 0-5 start. So good to see that he's not, you know, sulking in a corner or anything like that. He's
And
getting in there.
if I'm looking at Hanwha, I don't even know really what they try to do. As well, I mean, they could have Cuvée on a champion that tries to also play into the funnel. They could do something really weird. They could try to really hyper it. Karma top. You can have Orianna mid, Ivern jungle. And then, you know, like
Ivern.
there you go. Like,
Yeah.
Ivern jungle, Lulu support, and then some hyper.
Where does
carry.
Soraka come in, though?
You know what? Give that to Cuvée.
Yeah. Soraka top, Karma mid, Ivern jungle, Aphelios and Lulu.
Perfect.
You can't get a better comp than that, I think. I mean, even if he gets
If
caught
no
by the
damage,
Bard,
Aphelios goes down. Like,
doesn't matter. No, he got 2 hyper carries. Soraka's a hyper carry too. Yeah. Well, the Karma went for the, you know, originally the damage
I don't
build.
know how
and,
that's even possible, to be honest. I don't know how it. How do you deal? How?
You talking
Little
about
off
Karma?
each. Yeah, actually, I don't know
Yeah.
how.
Same. That's the first number I saw where I was like,
That doesn't look right.
I don't know how.
You had to be doing something miserably wrong.
Even
in
like
lane phase.
traits. And the, like,
Yeah, that's
you
what I
know,
mean. Yeah,
Patrick Hughes are going to hit the Orianna, you know,
sometimes.
sometimes. Well, I saw it happen once. Maybe that was the only time. So, more unfortunate starts here for Hanwha Life, whereas Afreeca, a simple win in game 1. Let's see what happens after the break.
얘 돌아볼게.
50 위치 봐 얘들아.
네.
50 위치 근데 와드에 걸렸을 거야
우리
어디가 나면.
캐는 타줘야 되고. 보인다. 얘네
캐넨.
정면에 있다.
앞에 볼게.
앞에 얼었다.
얼었다.
플레이스 거야 이거.
야,
앞에 녹일만
앞에
해.
궁 빨았어.
나
설치봐.
잠깐만.
자 끝낼까 보자 얘들아.
블루 오플.
일단 룰루 마무리. 나이스. 미드 가고.
오케이.
천천히.
나 리신 볼게. 리신 잡았고.
캐넨
캐넨 캐넨
웨이, 괜찮아.
나 캐넨 빠졌고.
끝났어. 나 부어.
이거 미드 밀게 나.
그렇죠.
야, 바텀으로 해도 되겠는데? 바텀으로 와라.
끝낼만 하거든.
바텀으로 와라.
오케이 아래로 갈게.
나이스.
아 뭐야 바드.
아,
아 예리해.
나이스.
나이스. 방금 스펠 빠진 거? 아펠 스펠 안 쓴 거
맞아,
같은데?
맞아.
강 죽었어. 강 죽었어.
아펠 살아나긴 한다 얘들아. 안 끝날 수도 있어. 집중해.
네, 끝낼만해. 나 타워리
어.
저 누가 앞에 가서 슬로우.
내가 해줄게. 나 해줄게.
기둥 깔아놓으면 되겠네.
야,
어.
넥서스 깨도 깰 수 있어, 이거. 끝났어.
막아놔,
깔아놓으면
막아놔.
기둥 깔아놓으면.
빈병대 바로 끊기지.
나이스.
나이스.
잘했다.
앞에
나이스.
놓고.